This is the Voice of Health, sharing health principles, inspiring healthful living, because a healthy lifestyle is medicine. Broadcasting every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. Brought to you by the Lifestyle Medicine team of Adventist Medical Center Manila, Health Ministries Department of North Philippine Union Conference, Adventist World Radio, and Hope Channel Philippines. This is the Voice of Health.
Isang masaya, masigla at malusog na araw po sa inyong lahat. Welcome to the Voice of Health Philippines, trumpeting heaven's prescription that your lifestyle is medicine. Sa araw na ito, tayo ay sabayang napapanood sa GSAT Channel 37, Local Channel 45 at sa maraming Facebook pages tulad ng Adventist Medical Center Manila, North Philippine Union Conference, Hope Channel North Philippines at marami pang iba. Siyempre tayo din po ay napapakinggan sa Adventist World Radio Luzon, Philippines at mamayang 12 to 1 sa DWBL 1242 kHz. Mga kaibigan, sa araw na ito, napaka-exciting and relevant ang ating mapapanood at mapapakinggan. We will be talking about health and beauty. Ayan, paano ba natin mamamary itong dalawang concept na ito, health and beauty? At syempre, ang ating guest sa araw na ito napaka-special dahil talagang ini-embody niya ito, mga kaibigan, ang health and ang beauty. Siya ay isang nag-aral siya ng nursing and syempre former beauty queen. Alam kong kilalang kilala niyo to dahil she has been Miss Earth Philippines in 2009 and she also represented our country internationally kung saan siya ay naging first runner-up. Miss Earth Air noong 2009 as well. And alam nyo ba, talagang napakaganda niya. In and out, na starstruck na ako sa araw na ito. And siya ay isa ngayong mother of one very cute and handsome boy, Coco. And she's also an entrepreneur. And you know what? We have a lot more to learn from her. Walang iba. I-welcome po nating lahat si Miss Sandra Seifert.
Hello to everyone. Hello, lady, and hello, Eden. Thank you so much for that intro. It's such a blessing to be part of this very special talk that we will be having. So I'm excited.
Thank you very much for being with us. Alam namin you are also very busy and sobrang honored kami dito sa Voice of Health to have you, Miss Sandra. Thank you. Thank you very much.
The pleasure is mine. Thank you.
And syempre, with Miss Sandra, ay kasama natin ang isa sa ating mga favorite na speakers dito sa Voice of Health, ang Associate Lifestyle Medicine Director sa Adventist Medical Center Manila, Registered Nutritionist Dietitian, and Diplomate of the American College of Lifestyle Medicine. I-welcome natin si Ma'am Eden Elisan.
Yes, hello everyone. Thank you po again. Nandito tayo lahat para matuto. Thank you, Ma'am Lady, and of course, si Miss Sandra. Yeah.
Ayan, I'm so excited. Kung kayo ay excited na rin mapakinggan at mapanood ang ating matututunan about health and beauty, I'm inviting all of you to like and share our page and also this live stream program. And syempre, wag niyo pong kalimutan, ipadala niyo to sa mga mahal niyo sa buhay, mga kaibigan niyo. You just don't know kung sino po yung may inspire sa araw na ito. And maybe ito na yung hinihintay nilang turnaround point. Kung ano man yung kanilang pinagdadaanan or kung meron silang gustong gawin for their lifestyle, maybe this is it. So please share, and if you have questions, huwag po kayong mahiya. Ilagay nyo lang po yan sa comment section and we will see it. So before we continue, please watch this video because indeed, lifestyle is medicine.
Lifestyle is medicine. L is for laughter, the stress reliever. I for interaction, the friendly immune booster. F is for food and fluid, the taste of health and the thirst quencher. E is for exercise, the preserving power of motion. S is for sleep, the body restorer. T is for temperance, the key to balanced life. Y, your faith, the divine healer. L is for light, the energy giver. And E, environment, the lifesaver. Pure air, sunlight, abstemiousness, rest, exercise, proper diet, the use of water, trust in divine power. These are the true remedies. Indeed, lifestyle is medicine.
Welcome back to the Voice of Health. And now we will know more about our guest, Miss Sandra Seifert. We would like to really know more about what you are doing right now. And please let us know more about you.
Sure. There's actually a lot to share, but I'll keep it concise. Well, as you mentioned in my intro, I think the most amazing role that I'm taking on right now is really being a mom to Coco. It's just a job that you cannot equate with a paycheck. You know, as fellow moms, I'm sure you can relate to me, but it's one of the most challenging yet fulfilling roles I've ever, committed myself to, and it's a life commitment, right? So to raise a child, but not just any child, a child, on the narrow path in the Lord is definitely not an easy journey, right? But I'm so thankful to the Lord for this blessing that He's entrusted to me, because I know there are a lot of women out there who would love to be moms and who would make great moms, but there's only a few that really become moms, so I'm really thankful for this role, and I'm trying to make that my priority. Kaya kahit saan ako pumupunta, kasama ko halos si Coco, right? Even today, he's with me in the studio right now. So I praise God for this role of motherhood. And aside from that, I'm also a working mom. So I run work from home para makasama ko siya, si Coco. And basically, I am a fashion designer. I would say like full-time, right? That's really what I do. And then during the pandemic, aside from fashion design, I also started baking vegan. And that's something I like to do if time still permits. It also gives me the chance to bond with Coco and to share more about health, give out some healthy options through something we all love, which is food, right? Yeah, so those are the things that really keep me busy. Motherhood, fashion design, and baking in between. Yeah.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. And on top of that, I still have to find time for me to maintain my health and beauty somehow, because as you mentioned earlier, I was a former beauty queen, and they say once a queen, forever a queen. So, syempre, it's refreshing to know that even hanggang ngayon, it's been 14 years since 2009, since the pageant. People still recognize me. I haven't aged a day though. So today we'll discuss more about my beauty secrets. I'm willing to share those anytime. But I'm really just happy that I'm healthy and I'm alive. That's something that I also try to maintain, the health each day. It's not easy because there's many things we also have to do on our part to maintain health, right? But one thing I've learned this year lang, is that one of the best ways to glorify the Lord is by being healthy pala, right? Do all for the glory of God and to maintain our temples, which we're bought with a price. Our bodies are a gift, as we have read in 1 Corinthians 6, 19 to 20. It really says there that Jesus paid the price for us to have another chance at eternal life and even life on earth. So this body, this temple is a gift, and we must take care of it. Wag natin i-treat na parang lang siya, baliwala, and we can do whatever we want with it. No, we have to honor the Lord and also our temple. And that involves several guidelines that we can also discuss today, right?
Alam mo, this is really the reason kung bakit we really wanted Miss Sandra to be with us here at the Voice of Health. Kasi mga kaibigan, she's a beauty queen who really has this passion to serve the Lord, and yung lifestyle niya is really something admirable. Yung talagang paano niya to ginagawa? Paano niya nakakayanan gawin tong mga bagay na to? She's very busy, marami siyang kailangan asikasuhin, but still, she advocates for healthy lifestyle. Ma'am Eden, tell us something about the Lifestyle is Medicine program and how we can relate it. Bakit nga ba sa health and beauty, importante din itong mga tinuturo natin dito?
Thank you for the question. Yung Lifestyle is Medicine intervention program natin, holistic yung approach natin dyan. That's why we have laughter is medicine, interaction is medicine, food and fluid is medicine, exercise is medicine, sleep is medicine, your faith is medicine, temperance is medicine, light is medicine, and lastly, environment is medicine. So, basically, pag ginagawa natin holistically, yung lifestyle natin, nag-glow yung katawan natin. May glow talaga. I mean, we have seen a lot of patients po na alam mo na yung sakit nila ay maraming complications. You can really observe in their physical appearance, even their face, even their eyes. May mga patient kami like ang taas-taas ng creatinine, as in parang nasusunog na yung mga balat nila. Because syempre nalalaso yung dugo na, uremic na. So, very important na inaalagaan natin yung katawan natin kasi nagre-reflect po talaga siya. So, yung organs natin, very delicate yan. Lahat yan. So, at first, hindi mo pa alam, I mean, hindi pa mag-a-appear yung effect ng ginagawa natin sa ating katawan. Kasi nagko-compensate pa siya. Pero time will come, hanggang maabuso natin, doon na talaga na magmamanifest. And that is why very important po na yung lifestyle natin, if we do exercise, nag-glow tayo yung skin natin And makikita natin, pag sa tao ay healthy siya, talagang yung appearance niya iba rin. Iba yung smile, iba yung dating niya, iba rin talaga yung glow ng katawan niya.
Kaya talagang yung health and beauty, magkasama talaga sila. Kaya I really agree, you haven't aged a day since 2009. Kaya pala, siguro dahil din talagang sa healthy lifestyle. Miss Sandra, have you been healthy all your life? Or this has started somewhere? Paano nangyari to?
Actually, I would say that we were raised naman to love fruits and vegetables in our diet. And then when we were younger, parang we also spent a lot of time outdoor in nature. So lahat yung mga bagay na yun na binanggit din ni Miss Eden, like fresh air, sunlight, and also proper nutrition, sleeping on time, sleeping early. Those are factors that I'm thankful we grew up with naman, because my mom did a good job in instilling these kinds of, I would say, I guess, environments and habits to us. But then everything was more enhanced when I was exposed to the health message of Adventism, because I found out about this when I was about 16 years old, when I did a Bible study, and there were 3 gripping truths that really convinced me na tama talaga tong pinag-aralan ng church na to, which is, well, just to give you guys a little idea then about my personal conversion, no, I was really hooked when I learned about the true day of worship as Sabbath, Saturday being the 7th day. That's one. Second, yung mga prophecies na binanggit sa Daniel and Revelation, how those are, connected. And then third, the health message and how characters in the Bible, like sila Daniel, right, when they chose not to eat at the king's table, the type of meat the king would eat, that, and then also going back to the Edenic diet, parang connecting all the dots, and how God led Israel, his people, out of Egypt, provided manna for them, how that is all symbolical and has a deeper meaning pala, that, being part of this world, the sinful world, we need to eat carefully. You know what I mean? And God is guiding us how to eat in such a way that we can also give glory to Him, right? Like, once I started to connect the dots and realize this, starting the age of 16 back then, I started to pay more attention to my health. And then I decided to go for a healthier lifestyle, starting with my diet, because, well, let's say we eat 3 times a day on average, right? So dun pa lang, we have to make decisions every day. Ano bang kakainin ko for this meal, for our next meal? So we're constantly faced with this decision on what to eat. But remember, our body is also para siyang kotse, so we have to fuel it with the right foods. And I really loved what you said earlier, Miss Eden, about how the body will shine and reflect that glow and that inner health. So health and beauty are so interconnected, lady, that everything starts on the inside, right? Just like with a car, if you give a car the right fuel, it will function properly. So with us, we also need to fuel our body with the right type of food, the right type of environment, and also the right type of mental influences and state of mind that we have. Because it's one thing I also want to highlight, how we really need to protect our mental health. People easily get stressed, especially in our generation. We are part of a generation that is like on a completely different pace than siguro yung sa panahon nila Jesus, 'di ba? Sobrang busy ng mga tao ngayon. So minsan they don't consider anymore to prepare food. It might take longer to prepare the healthy way, or it might be more expensive to buy the healthier option. So kahit ano na lang mapulot nila, basta makakain lang sila. And then in the beginning, as Doc said, it will just, the body will compensate. But long term, magugulat na lang tayo. We wake up to these long-term resulting lifestyle diseases, right? We'll just be shocked one day. And we can talk about that more, including yung one more thing, yung exercise na binanggit ni Miss Lady, because I'm someone that started going to the gym this 2023 lang, no? I even got a coach para at least when I go to the gym and I use the machinery and I have tried to achieve my targets, I'm doing it correctly naman para hindi mamaya mas lalo akong masasaktan kasi wala akong guidance, no? So I started to go to the gym and exercise a lot, and I found out from my brother Michael that exercise actually decreases aging, right? So yeah, that's one of the advantages. Kaya yung mga moms out there and everyone who's like too busy, make time for exercise also. Kasi grabe, it really makes a difference, and that's one of my secrets now. I've been working out as much as I can also. Kahit mga 1 hour lang, 3 times a week. Kaya.
1 or 3 times a week. Ano nga ang recommendation, Ma'am Eden, when it
Meron
comes
ba?
to exercise? Meron nga ba?
150 minutes per week. So parang 30 minutes lang in a day in 5 days.
Okay.
And then that's low to medium intensity. Well, as long as you can speak, as long as you can sing pa, yun, that's the medium to low intensity. Pero yung natin high intensity will be like twice a week naman. Pero okay lang yun kasi every day we are recommending 10,000 steps per day.
Per day?
Yeah, per day.
That's nice. So we should get those watches that track our steps, diba?
Mas maganda.
So it's either we have 10,000 steps per day or 150 minutes
Per week.
of low to medium exercise per week.
Per week. So like 30 minutes yon per day for 5 days.
Okay, and 30 minutes, alam mo, maraming times ngayon, masasayang na lang yung 30 minutes. Oo, ito lang yung na-exercise. Ito lang. Oo, I think we should really gayahin natin yung ginagawa ni Miss Sandra at yung recommendation ni Ma'am Eden. Kasi ayun, nakaka-decrease pala to ng aging. So, health and beauty talagang interconnected, ha?
At saka sa tingin ko achievable naman siya, no?
Yes.
Think about it. If I can do it and I'm a mom naman and I'm a working mom, I make time. You can always construct your life in such a way that it becomes easier for you to also achieve it. For example, yung gym namin malapit lang. So I intentionally chose a branch na hindi naman masyadong malayo kasi Metro Manila is filled with traffic, right? Especially during rush hour. So it's nice to really construct your life in such a way na ma-achieve mo rin naman yung goals na gusto mo ma-achieve. And then yun nga, kung kaya ng budget, it's nice to get a trainer, kahit man lang in the beginning, to set you up with good foundations of form. Diba? So I really advocate for exercise.
Okay.
Kahit actually walking lang.
Yeah,
Just
or
to start with it, walking is the
True.
best exercise. So kayang-kaya kung hindi maka-gym, they can
Pwede sila mag-walk, diba? No excuses, dapat.
Ang dami na ring videos ngayon na pwedeng sundan kahit nasa
Online.
bahay lang.
Yes, online workouts.
Medyo na-advance tayo sa exercise na. So, let's go back. Actually, I'm really, really curious about your food and how do you prepare it? What's your food preference in maintaining the beauty that you have right now? Do you have your breakfast, yung iba may mga regime talaga yung meron talaga silang menu like nagjo-juicing sa breakfast.
para meal replacement sila.
Oo. How about you?
Okay, I'm honestly a really special case because
Okay.
I recently did a food sensitivity test to see if I'm allergic against some foods, Miss Eden. Kasi I've been having reactions in my skin to certain foods, pero hindi ko alam kung ano nagte-trigger, right? So it was wisest for me to invest in this food sensitivity test. Medyo mahal siya ha, pero talagang God provided a way for me to be able to take the test, and therefore my diet is a bit adjusted according to that result of the test. But in general, the key is fruits, vegetables, and as raw as possible, I would say. And then hindi kami puro luto sa mga meals namin. Usually, we always match a raw element with the meal. So if we're talking about breakfast, for example, I can have oats, that's the cooked component, and then I'll have it with kamote and saba maybe. Although saba I'm a bit careful with because I have allergies against bananas. So I'm not sure if I would react to it. So I haven't gone back to saba muna. Pero kamote, saba sa mga pwede, and then oats are like the more steamed or cooked component, and then I match it with fruit. So every day could be a different type of fruit. Whatever is in season, that's also being wise, and then you really maximize kung anong maganda ngayon kainin. And so that's like, for example, breakfast. Minsan, kung on the go, you could make, let's say, a sandwich. But for us, we are officially like vegan vegetarian household right now, so that's really what we stick to. And like there's always a way. Like you could also create smoothies, right? And wala naman tayong fresh berries, pero may mga frozen berries, and they're also still gonna provide some value to our health. So you could do or invest in these kinds of foods, especially if you're busy. There's still a way, no? And that pwede mo siya ibaon. Then for lunch naman, usually nagra-rice kami, or pasta, right? And if it is rice, may kasama siyang ulam na mga gulay. I found out that I'm, allergic against gluten, so I have to really be careful with my gluten. So, other than that, I have vegetables or anything that is pasok sa skin ko pwede siya. But we usually pair it with like salad also. So yun na yung raw component. Kasi it's really nice to eat as raw as possible, I always say. Pero syempre kung yan lang kakainin mo, baka hindi ka mabubusog or hindi ka masustain. So you need to have a variety of food. But I'm also not advocating naman for buffet every day. You know what I mean? You also have to, sabi din ni Mrs. White, right? She highlighted that in a meal, we shouldn't have too many foods. Kasi yung stomach, it works at an optimum or ideal way of digestion. So kung masasobrahan siya ng lahat ng mga foods, ma-overwhelm at ma-burden din yung stomach. Minsan hindi natin napapansin kasi as Ms. Eden said again earlier, we always try to compensate. Our body will do its best for us not to feel any, uncomfortability or any effect on the outside. Pero it's working so hard. So we have to be mindful of these things. And then for dinner, yun nga, like whatever we can manage. Sometimes it's like light lang, a sandwich. But the key with dinner is not to eat right before you go to bed. Try to eat a bit earlier, like around 6 or 7, para you still have time to digest. And then maybe have your last sips of water or juices like earlier also, para hindi kayo gumising sa gabi at umihi, because it happens to me a lot if I drink before I sleep. And then I also just share with regards to beverages, because I recently learned yung mga disadvantages of caffeine, right? And even of like cocoa and all that. So I'm like, oh, this is tough. Although I'm not a coffee drinker, I love tea. But I discovered that sa mga tea naman, mas maganda pala yung mga fruit teas, herbal teas, right? Yun yung mga options natin. So now I've been making my own sort of milk tea at home. You can try this. It's really delicious. You could just, let's say, invest in chamomile tea or peppermint tea. Wag lang natin masyadong i-consume yung green and black tea. And that's like a whole nother topic. Watch Walter fight if you want on caffeine and teas. Kasi green tea, black tea, because parang hindi siya hiyang pala sa katawan natin. So do more research on that. But yung napulot ko is like yung mga herbal nga at fruit teas and flower teas. So chamomile or peppermint would be good. If you have those tea bags at home, you just dip them in hot water, and then you can add some oat milk. Right? Kasi mauso naman ngayon yung mga plant milks eh. So we have oat milk or soy milk, whatever you're not allergic against. So for me, it would be oat milk, and then I add lang some honey. So yung honey yung naging sweetener ko. And then you just mix it, para na siyang milk tea. And if it's too hot, you can have a little bit of ice in there.
Sago.
Oo nga, pearl na lang yung
Pero
kulay.
at least safe siya, di ba? Yeah.
So, sa narinig natin ngayon mga kaibigan, talagang ang diet ni Miss Sandra sa kanilang tahanan is talagang plant-based.
Yeah.
So, she advocates and live on plant-based nutrition. So, alamin natin from Ma'am Eden, ano nga ba yung benefit nito? Meron bang advantage to, itong plant-based nutrition?
Yeah, laki ng advantage niya kasi yung katawan natin nakadesign talaga siya to eat plants. No? Even doon pa lang sa creation sa Garden of Eden. No? Nung nagkasala yung tao, ang inad lang naman sa diet natin is vegetables. So yung, ang galing ng Panginoon kasi yung pagkakagawa niya sa mga fruits and vegetables, iba-iba yung variety, iba-iba yung kulay, iba-iba rin yung phytochemicals nila. So imagine like for the tomatoes, tomato alone lang, way back mga 5 to 10 years ago, may na-discover silang 10,000 different phytochemicals. 10,000 pa lang yon. So ngayon, napakadami sa tomatoes lang. And sa tomatoes, malaki siyang matutulong para sa prevention ng tawag dito, prostate cancer. So, doon pa lang yan sa tomatoes. Yung berries natin, not only berries, halimbawa yung sugar beets, no? Ang ganda nito para mapataas yung quality ng iron natin sa katawan. Kahit yung talbos na kamote, yung pag nilaga mo lang yon, talagang nakakataas ang hemoglobin yun, ng iron. So, ang daming benefits niya. Kasi yung katawan natin, lagi siyang nakaka-experience ng wear and tear. No? So, na-stress tayo. Eventually, papansin natin, bakit yung mga ibang pasyente, ang taas-taas ng cholesterol nila, kahit hindi sila kumakain ng pagkain matataas sa cholesterol. Kasi po, pag nagkakaroon ng damage sa katawan natin ng stress, yung cholesterol tumataas talaga para maiayos yung damages sa cells natin. Now, ang maganda kasi dahil pag kumakain tayo ng mga healthy food, natutulungan yung katawan natin na magkaroon ng healing talaga. Kasi may healing process naman talaga siya. So, yung mga phytochemicals na yan, as in pag pinag-aralan natin yung cancer pa lang yung initiation, yung yung stages niya, kahit yung mga garlic, kahit yung mga onions, kahit yung mga herbs and spices, may mga phytochemical siya, properties to fight off diseases, and especially cancer. So, malaking bagay kasi talagang yung wisdom ng Panginoon, like kamote, iba't ibang klaseng kamote. Iba-iba din yung lasa niya. Iba-iba rin yung phytochemicals niya. Like sa munggo, ang munggo, we have orange, yellow, we have green and red. So, imagine, iba-iba rin sila ng mga nutrients. Hindi mataas ang iron nung isa, pero isa mas mataas yung iron niya. Yung isang mas mababa yung iron, mas mataas yung magnesium niya. So, magaling yung wisdom ng Panginoon how He balance yung food natin. And pag may proper combination, then nami-meet natin yung nutrient needs natin. And babalik rin naman tayo sa basic Pag nagkakasakit yung pasyente, hindi mo naman siya binibigyan ng donut di ba? Yung siya binibigyan ng mga junk foods, ang binibigay mo, fruits, di ba? Kasi you want to recover agad. Gusto mo siya makarecover agad. Bawa, pag siya ay may sore throat, hindi mo naman siya binibigyan ng coffee, hindi mo naman siya binibigyan ng mga iced tea or ng soft drinks, sa binibigay mo water. Kasi, alam mo, yun talaga yung makakatulong talaga. So, babalik lang tayo sa basic. Pag halimbawa, may sakit ang pasyente, ang ibibigay mo lagi yung healthy. Pero pag walang sakit yung tao, ang ibibigay mo, hindi healthy. So, kahit nung bata pa tayo, alam na natin yan, na fruits and vegetables, mga grains, ang dami ng plant kingdom kasi variety sila. Unlike animal kingdom, animal-based food, papansin nyo po, example, chicken, iiba-ibahin lang naman din yung luto niya, pero same lang rin siya coming from that. Pero yung grains, ang daming iba't iba. Even yung ating rice, iba rin, kasi we have black, red, we have brown. So, iba-iba. So, ang Panginoon talaga, magaling yung wisdom niya, ang galing-galing niya when He created the rainbow color. So, pag araw-araw kumakain tayo, papansin natin yung plato ba natin naging makulay? Ano bang kulay green ang kinain natin? Ano bang red ang kinain natin? Sana hindi ketchup kasi red, no? Or any yung mga food coloring. Basta as long as you're eating at least three kinds of fruits every day. Yun, malaking bagay na yun. And then, yung sinabi ni Miss Sandra na dapat talaga may vegetable tayo, may rodent, tsaka mayroong dingkok. Papasin nyo po, di ba? Pagka kumakain kayo ng fruits, before talaga yung heavy meal, you feel na parang ang light na pakiramdam.
Yes.
Na, tapos pakiramdam mo, teka, parang kompleto And then pag kumakain ka ng mga junk or halimbawa mga fatty foods or mga mamantika, ang bigat ng pakiramdam mo. So talagang dinisign siya ng Panginoon na para magkaroon tayo ng cleansing, para yung dila natin, mai-ready siya sa pinaka-meal natin. Kasi very adulterated na yung dila natin. So parang pag kumakain tayo ng mga unhealthy food, tumatas. That's why we crave for other food na hindi talaga healthy for our body.
Wow. Ang dami kong natututunan sa araw na ito. Mga kaibigan, ano yung mga favorite nyong natutunan? Wala pa tayo sa gitna ng ating mga katanungan kay Miss Sandra at kay Ma'am Eden, pero alam nyo, parang filled na ako ng information and inspired ako. So kung meron kayong mga favorite thoughts or may question kayo, again, i-comment nyo lang po yan sa Facebook page ng Adventist Medical Center Manila. So, from the both of you, talagang natutunan ko ngayon, variety is so important. Hindi lang variety of ng lulutuin or ng kakainin, kundi kung raw din siya or kung cooked. Kasi I understand, magkaiba din ng mga nutrients, no?
Iba din yung benefits kapag raw versus cooked, especially like I think with tomatoes, right, Doc? You can have them raw and you can have them cooked. Iba rin i-offer niya. Pero tama talaga yan, variety. And then it's a misconception na, for example, people on a plant-based diet are not getting complete nutrition or are missing out, because I've been on this diet for 23 years by God's grace and I'm totally fine. There's also certain things that, you know, they say na hindi daw natin makuha sa diet natin, sa meat lang, like, I don't know, like let's say mga B12, but you know, B12 can be, I mean, if you don't want to go for the capsules, you can always get it from other foods naman na it's been proven. Then they have B12 fortified foods as well. And then sabi nga ng isang health lecturer from the States recently na yung sa B12 dapat, kasi ngayon medyo masyado tayong malinis if we actually spend more time outdoors, kung hinawakan ng natin yung mga damo at ginanon sa bibig natin, we're already getting our B12. And then of course, yung mga vitamin D, Doc, diba? Because that's another thing we should discuss, kasi we need to make sure we're aware of our vitamin D levels. And vitamin D can only be activated in our bodies through sunlight. Yeah. So if you know these things, you know, if you've gained that wisdom, diba, you can at least make sure na balance talaga yung diet mo at yung lifestyle mo. Also, I wanted to add, we kind of avoid oil as much as possible in our home, but when we're outside naman, we're a bit more flexible kasi it's harder to find like yung mga hindi nagluluto na gamit mantika. But when it comes to oil, apparently the best oil, which is so hard to find in the Philippines, but it's just good to know, is really like the extra virgin cold pressed olive oil, because it hasn't undergone a certain temperature of heat, so cold pressed siya. And I've had the chance to try it last year during a Europe trip. At saka iba talaga yung lasa niya at yung kulay niya at yung mga bote niya, dark siya kasi pinipreserve siya. But it's really amazing to taste it. At saka medyo bitter siya hindi siya yung like a regular oil here. But the oils that you also want to avoid are like yung mga canola oil, vegetable oil. I think those are more damaging sa body natin. And there's really a whole chemical reaction that happens when we partake these foods. Kaya hindi lang siya basta-basta or biro kung anong kinakain natin. I really love what you said about, you know, making food our medicine, and we were designed to eat with color and variety from the plant kingdom itself. Yeah, that's really one of my beauty secrets also.
Wow. So we got two of her beauty secrets already. Food as medicine and exercise. Now let's move on to the next topic. Let's talk about your fashion, the modest fashion, and how is this related to the lifestyle that you have?
Yeah, so for me, I really used to like love fashion since I was a little girl. I think most of us do naman, right? But you know, being a beauty queen in the past, and then now just being a mom, and of course someone who wants to advocate for biblical fashion, nag-iba na talaga yung pananamit ko. So before, kahit anong masuot ko, basta attractive siya or may label siya na designer, parang you feel so special to be wearing it. But now it's so different. Now my goal is really to dress in a way that is healthful, right? Because there are certain fabrics that are preferable for our health. Then mind you, like depende rin sa fabric mismo. Some fabrics, especially if they're produced in a manner that requires a lot of chemicals, or if they're produced through fast fashion, right? Hindi siya palahiyang din sa mga body types natin. So there's the chemical side of it that affects our health, but then there's also the design and the style that can affect our health. Because for instance, before I used to wear really tight clothing, especially sa mga denims or yung mga corset-like gowns, diba? Especially nung may mga events kami as a former beauty queen, talagang it's really clenched to the body. And as I studied more about the effect of this, long term, yung pressure from the outside, the external pressure on the internal organs is not healthy, right? Bukod pa sa nag-indent siya sa skin natin on the surface, right? Let's say yung mga corsets and whatnot, or yung mga super tight na undergarments, bodysuits and all that. Ano siya, like, if you wear this regularly or a lot, it's really not helpful to our organs. It's nice to see like how it affected women in history, kasi I also started to look into that. Kasi there was a time during the Renaissance era, more in Europe siguro yun. I'm not sure if the Philippines was as affected, pero women really wore like a lot of corsets, tapos nagle-lacing sila, diba? And then all the pressure was on the hips, and then meron pa sila parang cage na skirt, because they said that the more fabric you wore, the more elaborate your dress was, the wealthier you appeared in society, right? So yun, parang lahat sila parang they were affected long term by their health. Either a lot of mishaps happened during childbearing, right? And the breathing was affected as well, kasi kung masyadong tight yung damit natin, imbis na full diaphragmatic breathing, parang half na lang yung air na ba-breathe natin, na inhale natin, kasi parang masyadong masikip yung suot natin. So some of these elements of fashion in the past are still being carried over today, more so in couture, and I think in like body shaping through wardrobe. So let's just be mindful of that. Now I dress way more comfortable. I mean, during Miss Earth, I had the privilege to wear like a 1 million peso gown, right, for my pageant night. But like I was so pressured, but at the same time honored to wear that. Pero ngayon, sabi ko, what's important is really comfort and also good material, especially for like this type of tropical weather, cotton and linen preferred, and really like styles that are timeless. Yung maging practical din tayo sa fashion. Mrs. White is very clear that it's not wrong to invest in fashion, but let's make sure that we're wise about it too, because some of the funds could be used to help people and do ministry work, diba? So hindi naman dapat natin gawing idol yung fashion. That's why when it comes to even now, the ultimate goal for me now with my brand, Suravilla, is really to also lift up biblical fashion and to make it affordable din naman. No, so we work with people's budgets as well. Like I've had brides come to me who are on a really tight budget, and we were able to accommodate them. And then there's some, they want it to be super special because they only get married once. So of course, they've prepared a budget for that. But we do custom fashion, and then of course my goal is really to present modest fashion as much as I can. Hindi ko naman sila mapilit, pero it's always my prayer before every design that I make it a modest design that I propose to my clients. And sa awa ng Diyos, parang nagkakaroon na ng development and appreciation for modest fashion, because syempre yung tinitingnan natin ng mga designs, usually it's what we see that we like on social media, or yung mga favorite celebrities natin, kung anong suot nila. Alam naman natin that the people that rule the fashion and even the music world are not necessarily, the most spiritually guided ones, right? So minsan medyo dark yung kanilang style, or medyo revealing. So it's really my prayer always that through my brand, and that's also how God can bless a project if you make it biblically sound, na ma-elevate din yung modest fashion. I guess the closest that you could connect it to is like yung mga royal fashion, right? They have dress codes talaga. So even God's people, as Adventists ourselves, we should reflect that dress code, which means what is modest fashion? Aside from like what I wear today, this is also an example of my work with my team, is we really advocate for, length of skirts being below the knees, not just in church, but even during the week, comfortable fashion, not too much skin, but the right fabric, yun. So that's really our goal at Cerebella.
And thank you so much kasi ngayon ko nakikita kapag magsha-shopping ka din, may nakalagay na sa categories, modest fashion.
Talaga?
Yes.
Oh, praise God.
Meron
That's
na.
new, huh?
Yes, meron na. So I won't be mentioning kung saang app yan, but I think that's very necessary kasi totoo yun eh. It's still interlinked with health.
Yes.
If you cannot breathe properly, if hindi okay yung pananamit mo, how can you move? Di ba, Ma'am Eden? So, anything else you would like to add on this matter?
So yung nabanggit ni Miss Sandra na era, actually mataas din yung tuberculosis rate nila.
Ayun.
Kasi yung lungs, hindi na masyado siya nakakapag-excrete nung mga bacterias na nag-reside doon sa lungs, sa lower part ng lungs. And aside from that po, syempre talagang yung heart, yung mga vital organs, yun yung efficiency niya mag-work, nahihinder yon. So, kahit nga yung fats pag masyado marami na press yung mga vital organs, how much more pag halimbawa kinompress mo talaga siya, talaga siya pinest mo talaga siya. So basically, lalo na yung lagi natin sinasabi yung circulation ng dugo. Very important yan para magkaroon ng tamang or good health tayo. So dun pa lang ay talagang makikita na natin na masisira talaga yung health natin pag gano'n yung clothings natin. And I agree kasi sa sports nga yung mga dry fit, iba-iba yung yung texture niya, iba-iba yung type. So alam mo pag ikaw ay athlete, ano yung pipiliin mong dry fit for long run or duathlon or kung ano yung sports mo. Kasi kung mali yun, maapektuhan yung performance mo. So ganun din pag halimbawa ang clothes natin, halimbawa may mga chemicals, that is very true, no? Lahat naman talaga ng damit natin may chemicals yan. So kala natin simple lang. Pero hindi natin alam, yung skin kasi natin open pores yan eh. This is the largest organ sa katawan natin. So meron talaga yan effect sa atin. Pero syempre, hindi natin agad yan mararamdaman, no? Yung sakit naman kasi accumulation siya ng lahat ng ating ginawa, even yung lifestyle natin. So kung ano yung komportable, kung nakakahinga ka ng maayos, kung may daloy ng maganda ng ayos ng dugo mo, then that's good, no? So yun po.
You mentioned with the clothing for active wear, no? When you're in the gym, that's really important kasi I also noticed with me, sobrang sensitive nga ng skin ko, nabanggit ko earlier, at saka ma-active din ako sa gym, right? So initially I was just trying to upgrade my wardrobe, so I would just buy something na medyo affordable online, and then I would start wearing that. Syempre hindi mo rin ma-fit so parang sige, tiyaga na lang kasi kahit medyo tight. So I would wear these things, and then eventually parang nag-develop ng reaction yung skin ko. Because also a tip for all you ladies out there, we should not wear our tights or like our active wear too long kasi mamaya kung hindi maganda yung quality at saka hindi na-release yung ng pores yung sweat, right? Kung baga nag-harbor lang siya dyan, tapos tuloy-tuloy mo suot yung damit mo galing sa gym hanggang the end of the day, parang it has a risk to develop and harbor bacteria there. And then, yun nga, that's what happened also with my skin, I believe. Like the sweat could not release because the quality of the fabric wasn't necessarily the best quality na release niya yung yung mga impurities once we sweat. So parang napaiwan siya siguro. That's why I think, Doc, do you think it's best to invest in like maybe something a bit more expensive pero maganda yung material, no?
Kasi kung gagamitin mo talaga siya, especially for mga long runs. Like kagabi, nagbike ako for 40 kilometers eh. Wow. So ang hirap kasi 2 hours and 2 hours and 22 minutes kagabi. So pagkatapos noon, iba talagang pakiramdam. Iba yung pag ang suot mo very comfortable ka, nakakahinga ka, kaya mo yung endurance mo talaga, sobrang ganda. Pero mararamdaman mo rin pag hindi maganda yung quality ng suot mo, makakapekto yun sa performance. And talagang natuto na ako noon na bumibili talaga ako na mas, kahit sabihin natin, mag-i-invest ka talaga. Like dati na, yung shoes, dati 300 pesos lang nabibili ko. Talagang bumuka siya. Talaga nag-run ako. Sumuko talaga. So, tumatak sa isip ko na, why would I, parang bakit ko titipirin yung sarili ko na para sa kalusugan ko yon. Yung iba, nagtitipid sila, like, bibili sila ng orange or apple. Ikang mahal kasi 20 pesos, 25 pesos, or 35 pesos. Lagi sila sabi ng nanay ko, kakainin mo ba yung 30 pesos? Kakainin mo ba yung pera mo? Siyempre, bibili mo, ipang-bibili mo yung pera mo para maging healthy ka. Bakit mo kailangan pagdamutan yung kalusugan mo? After all, pag nagkasakit ka,
choice ka, gagastos
ka.
Yes, siguradong mas mahal pa.
At saka hindi mo makakain yung mga tableta. Hindi yun ikabubusog mo. Yung gagastusin mo sa hospital, hindi mo siya ikabubusog. So, why not invest now?
Alam niyo, nakakatuwa kasi yung pinag-usapan natin ngayon about modest fashion, about the quality of the fabrics and all these things, this is the first time dito sa Voice of Health na na-connect natin ito sa health. So, in every decision pala na ginagawa natin, kung ano yung bibilhin natin, ano yung pagkakagastosan natin, these are all part of our lifestyle. No, yung every choice na gagawin natin, mag-invest ba ako dito for the long term ba to, or sobrang sikip nito na marirestrict na pala yung organs ko. So, ano ba, looking good lang or talagang functional din? So, thank you kasi I'm very grateful na brought up nyo to ngayon. And all of us, I know, are inspired na let's take a look at our wardrobe, no? And if meron talagang hindi na rin ganun ginagamit, you know what? There are lots of opportunities na pwede natin diyan ma-share sa mga taong mas nangangailangan. And the Lord will use us mightily, no? Kasi pwede rin tayo magamit. Minsan, marami sa wardrobe din, siguro months na, hindi rin naman talaga nagagamit. So, better invest in a few quality, functional na mga nasa wardrobe.
Could I just add to what you said, that at our brand, right, our clothing brand, I'm really thankful that we also do custom because every woman was fearfully and wonderfully made, right? Every person, actually. So when women come forward and need a dress for any occasion, right, I'm so thankful because in a way, God has given us the opportunity and the position to actually guide them to dress more healthfully. Kasi being a designer, I've seen different methods of achieving, let's say, yung pagka-slimming effect, right, sa isang damit. But with all the information that we've discussed right now, at the back of my mind, syempre, I will always advocate for the most healthful approach. So instead of, for example, before you nagbaboning kami para lang sumikip yung waist nila, 'di ba? Kasi gusto talaga nila, most of them, the request is, gusto ko payat ako tingnan, curvy, diba? So, what we do now, we've developed methods na hindi na kailangan gamitin yan, or if ever man, bendable siya, hindi siya yung rigid, you know, at saka we always make it like, we create techniques na the woman feels comfortable, but she looks slim. Wow. Yeah. So, in a way, there is a way by God's grace, no? And He's been guiding us to achieve that also.
Thank you very much. You know what, Miss Sandra, simula nung nag-usap tayo kanina, lagi kong naririnig sa'yo, there is a way. There is a way. And I remember, I think off-cam pa kanina, you were talking about the pandemic. Yeah. So this is moving to another topic. Kahit na, grabe, sobrang bilis ng time natin. Ang sarap makipag-usap. So, you were talking about finding another way, a healthful and a healthier way for the food during the pandemic. And in relation to your business and how you are making it more healthy, affordable, accessible, and all of these things. Yung sa baking mo naman, no, ano yung nag-inspire sa'yo? Bakit you really learned how to bake naman the healthful way?
Sige, yung backstory lang dito na sinasabi ni Miss Lady is, because I told her during the pandemic, even embarked on a baking journey kasi wala naman tayong puntahan nung naka-lockdown tayo, so hindi ko naman madadamitan yung mga ladies. So sabi ko, ano kayang pwede kong gagawin kasi sanay din tayo sa being productive, right? But how do you be productive from home? So napansin ko lang sa social media, ang dami sa mga friends ko, pati sa church nagbabake sila, especially mga banana loaves. So sabi ko, talaga, wow, this looks good. But this is not necessarily the healthiest thing. It's yummy, but it's not always healthy yung yummy, diba? So I was like, there must be a way like we can still somehow elevate the health message. I mean, this whole pandemic must have happened so that people will realize many things, including to pay attention to their health. Kaya nga, diba? Kasi it is a pandemic. It's health related din yung category of problem. So sabi ko, Lord, bigyan mo naman ako ng wisdom. Maybe I can try to bake vegan. I guess that's the best way to describe it. Healthy ingredients and all that. So tinry ko, and it took me a good month. A good month during a pandemic is a long time because it's like almost every day of trying to develop different recipes. And syempre yung resources ko lang dyan is YouTube at saka online research. Hindi naman ako professional baker. I didn't study this. But at the verge of giving up, sabi ko, Lord, okay, I'll do one more attempt to perfect a vegan recipe that's tasty, and my judges or the people that will taste it will be yung mga family members ko na yung iba dyan hindi naman vegan, right? Kasi usually yung mga vegan sanay kami na baka medyo dry yung bakes pero at least it's vegan. But you want to make sure that even the non-vegans love it. So sila yung naging tasters ko, and lo and behold, God is so good because my last attempt was successful. So, eto, nag-order na yung kapatid ko ng 12 loaves para sa staff niya. Sige ha, Sandra, the pressure is on. Let's send this to my team. Okay, so mission accomplished, and it was also great feedback. So I started to collect testimonies. And it got to a point that I expanded the menu from banana walnut loaves na vegan to different varieties like choco banana, but I always try to work with ingredients that are healthful. Hindi nga nila alam na pati yung mga smallest ingredients ko na kahit mga drops lang or whatnot are still really quality ingredients, or like I would go to healthy options for those things. But as you mentioned earlier, we need to know what we're investing in, and even if we want to enjoy a dessert, is it wrong to enjoy a tasty but healthy dessert? Not at all, right? Even if you pay a little bit more, at least it's quality, and you feel good after. You don't feel guilty. Kaya ngayon, from custom fashion, naging custom bakes din ako. Pati sa mga sugars and sweeteners, pwede ko ma-adjust. So I have like yung mga bumabalik sa amin, yung mga diabetics, cancer survivors. They're also allowed to enjoy naman yung mga bakes. Healthy pa, diba? And then from there, we inspire them on our Instagram. We put really health motivating quotes. We share testimonies, and it's just the best feeling when you can enjoy something without any guilt because it's healthful, diba?
Thank you, Miss Sandra. You know what? Gusto ko talagang ma-share ni Miss Sandra yun kasi I want everyone to realize that there is really a way. And hindi pangit ang lasa ng mga healthy food, no? Hindi porke healthy sasabihin hindi na to masarap. There is always a way, just like how the clothes that now Miss Sandra is doing, itong sa baking, lahat ng to may paraan, may solusyon kung paano pa natin mas mapapalusog. Ito laging sinasabi ni Ma'am Eden, and tumatak talaga to sa puso ko, sa isip ko. Sabi niya, kakain ka hindi lang para mabusog, kundi para maging malusog.
Yes.
So, we only have a few minutes left. So, I wish maraming natutunan ng audience natin for today, and I'm really hoping there's part 2.
Yeah, parang bitin.
Oo, nakakabitin. Parang ang dami-dami pa nating pwedeng pag-usapan. No, I was really trying to cover a lot of topics today, pero ang daming ang sarap pag-usapan. So, before we end, Ma'am Eden, would you like to say anything to our audience?
Yun. So, very important po yung ating lifestyle. Yan ang magiging ating medisina. So, kahit mamili ka lang doon sa way of life mo na alam mong healthy, magiging medisina na po yan. How much more kung holistic. So, every day, ginagawa mo yon, and eventually, nagagawa mo na siya, naging lifestyle mo na siya. Kung hindi pa po natin magawa agad-agad lahat, so dapat po gagawin natin yung mga kaya lang natin, yung doable, like exercise. Pwede namang walking lang muna. Ngayon, 10 minutes muna. Sa susunod, magiging 20 minutes and then eventually 30 minutes. Sa tubig, dati hanggang 1 liter ka lang, di 1.5 or 1 glass every hour. And eventually, ganun din po sa clothing natin. So, sa una, parang syempre, ito pa yung budget natin. And then, syempre, magtitipid tayo sa ibang lifestyle natin so we can buy those things. So, hanggang sa magawa po natin lahat yon at hindi na po kayo mahirapan kasi part na yun ng lifestyle mo.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Eden. And Miss Sandra?
So much. Well, make sure to invest in your health because at the end of the day, tayo pa rin magdadala ng ating katawan, right? So, if we want to extend our life and be a blessing to more people in this lifetime, we need to be healthy for that. And to ride on what you mentioned, build healthy habits because these habits eventually become part of our lifestyle and our character. And listen to your body as well. I know sometimes we're so keen to make the change, so keen to really start applying what we've learned even today. But just take it one day at a time at kung anong kaya. And if, let's say, bumagsak man tayo, let's say during this meal, na-tempt tayo na nag-dessert talaga tayo, then bumawi na lang tayo sa next meal, you know? Don't be too hard on yourself din, but try to practice temperance and discipline. Also, for all the moms out there, tinitingnan ko si Coco kasi, and I know you have a 6-month-old, it's really possible there is a way to train the child to love eating healthy because until the child is of like its own mindset and opinion, as moms, we have the power and the blessing of influence to really guide them and their palates. So we can condition their palates to appreciate the simple and healthy foods. Kaya nagugulat yung mga ibang moms, but si Coco mahilig daw kumain ng gulay. But if he can do it, then their kids can do it too. So we have that responsibility and that power. So let's use it for God's glory to be healthy. And as I said earlier, glorify the Lord, make Him happy through your health, right? Every decision has a consequence. So think long term. Kung yung average lifespan sa Philippines ngayon, Doc, 60 na lang, biro mo, sa probinsya nga, minsan mas maaga pa. I mean, I saw like in some cemeteries it's even shorter, but it depends where, because in the probinsya na city they eat a lot of foods na rin na medyo delikado. So really try to invest in your health, in the right type of fashion and wardrobe, in the right type of external products we apply on our face and body, from makeup to skincare, right? Dami pang pag-usapan. Basta Google nyo 8 laws of health. That's one of my beauty secrets talaga, no?
Thank you so much. Grabe, I learned a lot today. I'm looking forward for the part 2.
Sige, I think we need it. I'm learning a lot.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Eden, for all the nutrition tips and reminders na binigay nyo sa aming lahat today. And of course, Miss Sandra, you know what? I just like to mention, habang tinititigan kita, sabi ko, parang I'm looking at the Princess of Wales.
Naks! Wales talaga, no? Ikaw talaga.
So, right now, you know what, Miss Sandra, before, if I may just say, you're aiming for the crown. But right now, I could really see, and I'm very inspired because I know that you are aiming for the heavenly crown.
Amen. Yes.
So, thank you very much for inspiring all of us, for your influence, for everything that you do. And the Voice of Health is always ready. If meron ka pang gustong i-share in the future, you're always welcome.
Thank
dito
you.
sa...
Sana tayo tatlo ulit.
Yes.
Because I'm learning from both of you.
We are so happy.
Yeah.
Grabe mga kaibigan, ang bilis talaga ng oras kapag nag-i-enjoy at maraming natututunan. So, I just like to thank everyone for tuning in, and doon sa mga nag-comment, sa mga nag-share ng live stream natin today, marami pong salamat. I hope that that you will continue to support the Voice of Health every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday po ito, 11 to 12. And sa DWBL 1242, 12 to 1 naman ng hapon. Huwag nyo rin pong kalimutan suportahan ang Adventist World Radio Luzon, Philippines at ang lahat po ng programa ng Hope Channel North Philippines. So yun lamang muna po. Sana manatili kayong malakas, malusog at masigla. Huwag niyong kalimutan ang aming paalala dito sa Voice of Health. Your lifestyle is medicine. Bye.
God bless. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is the Voice of Health.